Start. Start. Yeah. Just a second. So today we are going to discuss about web-based alerts in how to handle web-based alerts by using Selenium. So generally, what is an alert? So why we have to handle those alerts? See, when we are working with the applications, web applications, we usually have to automate many of the things. Like, we can able to automate many of the things. So in that, one of the, areas are the alerts, and which is very, very important again. Why? Because, for example, whenever we are using any application, you have a form. The form is having a lot of mandatory fields. If you are missing any of the mandatory field, what happens? On clicking on the register, for example, there is a registration form we are doing. We have a lot of fields. So while entering the fields, you may miss one text box, which is mandatory. And we're trying to click on OK or a register. It will give us a message saying that you have missed a mandatory field. So to continue, you have to first go and fill that mandatory field. So which is actually alerting the user you're missing something and which is important. Until you finish that, until you fulfill that, you cannot able to go to next step. So that they will correct themselves and they will come back and give the details which is required, or which they have given a wrong, and they'll correct themselves and they'll give a right data and they can able to proceed. So that the service provider, what they're expecting the data from user, so that will be captured correctly with the valid stuff, and they can able to continue with the next. So to handle these alerts, why we are actually talking about this alert separately? We can inspect that alert, we can able to click on OK, come back and enter, you can proceed, right? But what is a special here? Because you cannot able to inspect the alerts. There is no concept called inspecting the alert. So obviously you cannot take a web element and you cannot able to automate that directly by using the web element, like driver dot find element by providing the locator dot send keys or dot click and all, which will not happen in the alerts. Then how you have to do? We can actually switch to the required alert. We can actually switch to the alert to automate the things inside of the alert. Actually, what kind of different actions we can perform in the alerts means we can able to accept the alert, means clicking on OK or clicking on yes, or dismiss the alert, clicking on cancel or clicking on close. I mean to say, in different applications, different kinds of, names they will give for close or a yes or no, something like that. So basically, you call it them in a two different technical terms, which is accepting and dismissing. Apart from these two, we can also get the text from the alert, or you can able to give some message inside the alert. So these are the other two things also you can able to perform. But it's not like every alert is having all these options. So few alerts, we have different kinds of alerts present in Selenium, like present in web applications. where we can able to use Selenium to automate them. So let us see what are those alerts. I'm sharing my screen. So when it comes to web-based alerts, we have three different kinds of alerts. One is simple alert, prompt alert, confirmation alert. Simple alert is nothing but the way it is defined is very simple. So that is one thing we can able to define, or one thing we can able to consider why it is a simple alert. If you see the simple alert is only having the message and having an accept button or a OK button. Technically, we call it as a accept, but in the alert box, it is showing OK. Fine. So when we are trying to access this, you can only perform two kinds of actions here. One is you can get the text of the alert. Second one is you can able to accept the alert. You getting the text is not mandatory. It is up to you. For example, when we are doing a testing, we must understand. So when we do such kind of a mistakes, for example, here in this alert, it is saying, please fill all the fields. It means that there is some important field which is missing in the form until we are just proceeding with the next step. By then, when you click on register or click on OK or click on continue, you're getting this alert saying that you missed some mandatory field, go check out. Then only you can able to continue. So that's what it is saying. Please fill all the fields means you're missing something. You gave it, but not all. You filled it, but not all. Right? So you must accept this alert, go back to the form, fill the missing field, and if you just click on continue, it will not give any alert, rather it will continue. Okay, so that is how simple alert will work. Okay, you can do two kinds of things. One is getting the text and accepting. Getting a text is an optional thing. To make sure that the alert is properly returning or not, we have to do some kind of a validation. For that sake, we can able to get the text from the alert box. And accepting is mandatory because alert have a feature. If you're not handling the alert, you cannot able to access anything outside of it. You cannot go back to the main page and do your automation. You first of all, everything will get disabled. Back screen completely will get disabled until you do handle the alert, whether you accept it or dismiss it. You do something in the simple alert, you have to must accept it, then only the behind screen will work. Again, you can able to work on the registration. What is a prompt alert? Prompt alert is an alert. Along with the accept button, you also have the dismiss button, and you do have an option to enter the value which you are missing in the form in the alerts itself. Okay, then why you have an accept and dismiss button? For example, you missed your name, which is mandatory in the form, and you're trying to continue. Click on continue. It is giving you an alert message saying that you missed your name. Or you want to enter your name here itself, then you can enter, click on OK. It will take you to the next page of registration. Or you doesn't want to enter the value here, then dismiss it. Go back to the form again, enter there, and then click on continue. So you have two options here. Whatever you missed, and especially sometimes if you miss only one field, it will show. Or some applications is configured in such a way that whatever the mandatory fields you are missing and you're trying to continue with the form, so all those fields will be giving here one after. You missed a name, you missed the ID, you missed the email ID.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, the question is in real time. Just I'm giving an example. If you're testing this website, so in real time, are we going to first give the right information, like by putting the values in this text box, and that's the first step. We will check if the program is running good or not. And on the
Oh,
other
yeah,
side,
that
the
is
second
called
step,
as a
if we are
negative
if we are
testing,
if
right?
we are not going to put,
Hmm.
so
See,
are we going to
generally
do
when
this in
alerts
real
will
time,
come,
or we just have to put everything?
no, in the real time or in the testing, basically, you can't always test the application in a positive way, right? You should also test the negative scenarios. Negative scenarios in the sense you have to miss something in the application and try how what is happening with the application. Correct? To make ensure that if you are missing something in the application,
Yeah.
user is notifying by the application whatever they are doing wrong. See, first of all, whatever user is going to experience, we must test all those things in the application. Got it? Got it? Got it, Jisha?
Copy. Yep.
So you got it, whatever the question you have? Okay, so let me continue. So basically, when this situations will come when you are missing something, it is obviously a negative scenario, it's not a positive. When you're giving everything correctly, it won't give any alert. It will just, go with the flow. What is next. But when we are trying for negative scenarios, means something we are missing, something invalid we are doing in the application. So that time only, most of the time, the alerts will come. Sometimes informative alerts also will come. So you want to update something that we are going to see in a confirmation alerts. So mostly prompt and simple alert will come when we are doing some mistakes or when we are missing some of the important data in the application. Okay, coming to the confirmation alert. Confirmation alert, you cannot always say that it is a negative because it is just ask the confirmation from the end user whether it is a uh, example. For example, there is a net banking. We are using a net banking. So generally, we to send a money to some person, we first get their all bank details and all the required IFSC code, or like not IFSC in your in US. What are the required things, right? So we will get everything and we will save first of all in our application, in the net banking application, like you add the beneficiary. Sorry. Once the beneficiary is added, it is very important because it's a important data for you because you're going to do certain transactions with that beneficiary. And as we are using our touch phones nowadays, and there is a lot of chances we may delete the data just by one touch. If that happens, you may lose a lot of important data, and to retrieve that data, it takes again an effort. You have to get again the details and you have to add it. It will take some hours of time to add. And there is a transfer restriction also. Within 24 hours, you can send only this much. After 24 hours only, you have liberty to send as much as amount you want. That also, there is a limit, but at least within this 24 hours, you cannot send so much of amount. Right? It means that just because by mistake user is clicking on something, user is touching some delete button, if it is not alerting the user, rather it is directly deleting the data, it is a loss to end user. So to make ensure that such kind of things are not happening, so the alert will come and say, are you sure you really want to delete this user? You really want to delete this data? You really want to delete this customer? Right? So that you will get the, okay, by mistake I have done by deleting this. Okay, you will be canceling so that your data is saved. But then why accept? Sometimes it's only a one-time user. You are very sure that you are not going to send the money to that person at all. There is no requirement at all, and it doesn't want that to be present, that particular data or that particular account details to be present in your net banking. So it's wantedly you are doing. So you will be clicking on delete and you will accept this alert. Obviously, that data will be get deleted from the net banking of your application, your account, right? Like that, so many things we do. For example, you go and check it out, deleting the Facebook account, deleting the Instagram account, deleting a Twitter account. It will definitely ask you an alert message. Maybe they think that there is an by mistake, they are trying to delete because they lost so much. Just because by mistake it is happening without any confirmation we are getting from the customer. If you are deleting that note, if it is by mistake, if it is unknowingly happening, they are going to lose the data. So to not to happen that, alerts will be implemented in such areas so that it will save the data and it will really assist the end user what is going on with the application, what he's doing at that particular point of time, right? And let us see how we can handle this alerts. Let me take one demo site. Okay, guys. We have three different alerts here. First one is when I click on this button, we are getting simple alert with the alert message and accept button. See, if I'm not handling in the sense, if I'm not accepting this alert, I cannot access anything outside of this. See, I'm touching everywhere. I'm just clicking, trying to click anywhere in the page. It is not happening. So that important is the alert. Until you handle this alert, you cannot perform any action outside of this alert. So if I click on OK, then I can able to access. Now this is called as a prompt alert, confirmation alert. It is just asking the confirmation, like press a button. You can accept or dismiss. See, it is showing you pressed cancel, you pressed OK, like that. Just to make sure we are able to really handling that alert. Come to alert with text box, which is a prompt alert. You can able to send some value inside the alert and you can accept or dismiss. Okay. So for example, I'm clicking on OK. Hello, automation testing user. How are you today? So if you click on cancel, nothing is showing. So let us automate this one. New class alerts practice. Clicking on finish, I created a class and I'm going to create a method. Public void method name and class name, package name, everything is user defined, but give the proper understandable name so that we can understand what this class is all about, what this method is going to do. We are setting up the WebDriver. Setup. Next, creating an object for Chrome driver. because the methods we want to use it to automate, which are present in this class. Okay, next, driver dot get is a method we use to launch the URL in the browser. And then generally when we launch, it will be in minimized state. Manage window maximize. We are maximizing the window. After maximizing, we must inspect this alert with OK. And I'm writing the XPath text of equal to in single quotation, or you can use any double quotation also. Why it is not recognizing? Okay, there is a space here. That's why it is not recognizing. So that's the problem with the text of. Even the space also we have to mention. Driver dot find element by dot XPath, presenting the XPath here, dot click. Okay, next. After clicking on this is also you must click. So there is a alert box is not so common in all of three. So I'm taking this text completely, but I'm using a contains method because there is a big text here. Contains of text of comma. So the beauty here of contains, you can remove the unwanted spaces. Alert box is unique to this particular element. So that's the reason I'm taking alert box alone, because obviously alert box is there in this total text. That is what the contains method is going to do. So driver dot find element by dot XPath, presenting the XPath here, dot click. Next is, as soon as you click on this particular button, you cannot inspect anything because I'm trying to inspect. See, I'm trying to right click on this alert. Nothing is happening. Inspect option is not coming. So as I said, we need to switch to this alert to perform, accept, or get text, because these two only the actions you can able to perform in this simple alert. One is you can get the text, another one is you can accept. Get text is still optional, but accepting is must to access the behind screen. Okay. So how we can do is, as soon as we click on this, we are getting the alert. So what we should do is that we have to switch to the alert. To switch to driver dot, switch to dot alert. This is the method we will be using to switch to the alert. And alert is returning alert. So I'm just storing the value alert It is simple alert, so I'm giving a proper name here. Fine. Now import this alert from org OpenQA Selenium. Now by using this one, you can able to get the text, you can able to accept that alert, we can do the actions. Okay, so as soon as I click, you can say accept, dismiss, equals, get class, get text and all. First, let us get the text, because once you accept, the alert will not be present, so you cannot get the text. So we have to return that get text means first we should store that into string. Simple alert message. And now you can print this. This out. Can present. It is done. Now driver dot rows. So now right now I only automated the simple alert. Okay. I have to give some time. Because it takes little time every time we are clicking on the web element. That's the reason I am providing some wait time also. Going forward, we are not going to use thread.sleep once we learn the concept of waits. Let us see whether this is happening or not. I'm executing. So it is failed. Why it is failed? Yeah, the test case is passed. That we are seeing I am an alert box. So it is getting the text and it is also accepting the alert. So likewise, we have to do it for the other alerts as well. I will show it for the prompt alert. So you guys can practice on the confirmation alert. Get the locator for this alert box first. So first I'm trying to click on the button. Find it by dot expert dot click. And then after clicking, I'm clicking on this button also so that my alert will be opening. I'm using just a prompt box because I don't want to provide fully. Even for this also, you can use the contains method. Contains comma, double quotation. So I'm taking this. So even though I'm providing the partial text, it is still taking. So driver dot find element by dot expert dot click. After clicking, this alert will be opening. So I want to send some value inside. For example, yes or no something. First of all, to do that, I have to first switch to the alert. Driver dot switch to dot alert. This alert is returning alert. So I'm storing inside because I want to perform multiple things. That is the reason I'm storing the reference of it. This is the prompt alert. By using this, I can able to access all the methods. First of all, I'm giving some value inside, which is yes. That can be anything. Sometimes it only accepts the certain data alone. But let's see. We are entering this something and we are trying to accept. To accept what we do, there is something called accept or we dismiss. We use something called dismiss because we already see how accepts work, right? So when we dismiss, it won't get that text, but just for the sake of how we can automate, I'm just giving. Okay. we dismiss, it is not showing anything. But send keys, I think it must accepts only what it is present here. So let us try to give this. For example, dismiss happened now. We'll see the accepted. So it is happening. That is it, guys. This is all about how we will handle the web-based alerts. There is one more alert called we have confirmation alert. You can do the practice. Just we will be clicking on here